March 14th, but also knowing, March 13th, but also knowing it was 11 days before March 24th. I was more concerned with March 24th of 2022. Why? Because it's 12 years after March 24th of 2020. I've already went into Ellsberry what exactly the significance of March 24th of 2020 is, aside from the Affordable Care Act, but also concurrent to the Affordable Care Act. But the point of the matter is that was going on, and by April 18th of 2020, I took all of the books. When I get money on the street, including if I get that $10 bills, I spend them on books. So I've acquired a number of books. There are a few books that I've gotten either from dumpsters or that have been thrown out. I will admit there are 3 books that I acquired through what could be considered illegal means, but my understanding is if I did not get them on that day, they would never be available again. And unfortunately, that has concerned itself insofar as that has been proven to be true. That it is as if they are clearing out that history. This is the last time to get it. And I haven't seen some of those topics, I haven't seen any books, and they've actually been replaced with something else now. Same thing happened in the library beginning in 2020. But here's the thing. April 18, 2022, I did my own inventory. I've created these books in a process where they have specific kinds of indications, specific kinds of reference points, specific dates they were correlating with, specific hypotheses. There are things we were actually building on and investing in, could be used as a foundation for consideration. That hasn't materialized yet. It hasn't been able to materialize yet. But on December 21st of 2021, unfortunately, I didn't have the cash. So I couldn't buy any of the books. I'll tell you, the books that I have here are not so dissimilar from the books I have here. But what it shows me is that during the time frame when so-called my proceeding was pending, including before April 1st of 2022, it was a completely different kind of tearing. But after April 1st of 2022, it flipped. Now the problem is, I'm supposed to be irrelevant. And at least according to what's publicly accessible, based on what the court says, well, I lost my case. For any number of reasons. With all kinds of references that actually don't speak in any way, shape, or form to the actual allegations and the actual charges in my case. But you can't get my stuff unless you're an insider. And it's such an insider deal, I can't even get access to it anymore because I don't have my birth certificate. I don't have my driver's license. So I can't legally get a job. Which means I can't legally acquire money unless it's a contribution from the supporter. Right? And then who keeps track of taxes? Now, I already did my presentation regarding tax matters this morning, but this is all of concern. This is the presentation I'm making right now, to let you know where we're at. The thing I'm really worried about, though, is coming up. Because of what happened on, and in connection with what was going on after this one here. What happened on November 22nd? On November 22nd, I found another book. And I'd seen it before. So it's called Moral Combat, Good and Evil in World War II by Michael Burley. Starting on page 116. Going through pages 135. It discusses what is called the rape of Poland, including in connection with events that go back to an assembly that had been called and then canceled on August 15th in 1939. Does anybody know what happened this year on August 16th, 2021? Unfortunately, there was alleged to be a final judgment order issued in Crouse versus the Texas State Senate on August 16th of 2021, which would have been a day after that assembly. Everything tears to this. Why would they use a false eviction proceeding for zero rent, by the way, in connection with a whole series of large-scale crime that correlates with what I understand to be retaliation against somebody for trying to bring a case against the Senate for their refusal to impeach a governor who had acted unconstitutionally and jeopardized the safety and welfare not only of the people, but aided and abetted the cover-up of a huge crime spree that's not exclusive to the state of Texas, but is very, very centralized within the state of Texas. Perhaps that is in the information that has recently been found, at least by me, but apparently it's been available publicly since April of 2022. Since this time, right? Regarding an audit of the State Bar of Texas. Anybody who's read my petition, my original petition 2017, you would know that by that time frame in 2017, by April of 2017, I had already attempted to contact people with a list of questions I had. After reviewing the information the State Bar of Texas was submitting for sunset review to the Texas legislature, that itself was dated for 2014. That means that despite the fact that this audit ends on May 31st of 2021, I anticipate it's a book of numbers they intend to work for at least the next 3 years. Who are they going to fleece in the meantime? And how substantial is it going to get?